Okay, guys, today you are doing a lesson with some symmetry, and you're going to create a radial name design. So I'm going to try and be brief here since I'm not available, and I want to give you plenty of time to work on this. So first off, think about what is symmetry. You're probably thinking of things that are the same on both sides of a midline or an axis. Hopefully you're thinking through that math vocabulary, but if not, you can remember it now. This is called bilateral symmetry. This is what most of us think of, where something is the same on the right and the left, or the top and the bottom. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about radial symmetry. So that's where the parts of an object or a picture are arranged so that they radiate from the center, or a center point. So here's some examples of radial symmetry in art and nature. Think like a snowflake or an orange, these big stained glass windows, and you're going to make something similar to this today using your name. So if you look on the right, this is a resource from another middle school art teacher, and her name is Ursina. And you can see on the left, that's her name. And on the right, if you look closely, that's repeated 8 times in a radial pattern. So this is what we're doing today, or at least what we're starting today. So I'm going to run through these steps really quickly, and then there's another video from a different teacher I have that will walk through these, and you can see them in video form. So first things first, you're going to fold your paper into a square, and then 8 pieces from that, 8 triangles. You'll write your name in one of those triangles. Again, remember, you're going through all this with another video, so don't stress out here. Pencil it first to make sure you're happy with the designs, then you're going to go over it with Sharpie so that you can then trace that name carefully into other sections. We'll talk about how to do that, or rather, another teacher will show you how to do that, so that you end up at the end with your name in 8 different triangles. Now, these, I do want you to consider, make sure your name is traced neatly and precisely every time, so that everything meets correctly. You can touch up any spots that are missing, and each tracing should be exactly like the others, or a mirror of the others. That other video will tell you exactly how to do that. It's not as hard as it looks. And then your Sharpie outlining, make sure it's really neat and precise. We don't want big globby lines. Take your time, do a nice job on this. So, not going to do that. This is something worth noting. If you write really small, like you see on the left there, it's kind of an empty design. You don't want that. So instead, on the right-hand side there, fill the space. When you're first writing your name here in just a few minutes, make sure you fill that triangle completely up with your name initially there. If you have a longer name, you might need to write a little smaller, but do take those middle letters, make sure they fill the space, okay? It's going to make your design much better. We're not going to design it on an separate page like this. We just don't need to do that for today. What you do need is that, here we go. When you're done tracing, I want you to have some black spaces in there. So pick a few spaces, just a few, like think 2 or 3 on your section or on each section so that you don't overwhelm it with black. And you're going to find some shapes to make them solid black. Like you can see in that middle picture, it's a good idea to outline those shapes with Sharpie first to keep those edges neat. Then over on the right-hand side, you can see you want to color in all the shapes around your design that you've chosen to make black so that it matches in each of those patterns. This will really help it pop when you get some color in there in a few minutes. So you can either use markers or colored pencils. We've got markers sitting out, and if you choose to use some colored pencils, you can get those from the red lockers. Remember, they're in the middle, third from the bottom. Markers are good for this smooth, consistent color. They're really bright and pop. Whereas colored pencils, they're tougher to keep consistent, but you can get some really nice blending effects. I know we've talked about that in previous projects. So here's your color goals. You shouldn't have anything uncolored. Everything should be a color. You can reuse colors, but you don't want to leave anything white, really. We want neat and consistent work. You do not need to finish this today. Matter of fact, you shouldn't finish this today. This should be a 2-week minimum project if you're doing a nice job and taking your time. So just know we might not even get to coloring today. And if you do, please don't rush through and finish it. make sure that you're paying attention to that radial symmetry. And you can see in the picture on the right, all of the shapes that are the same color. Make sure you're doing that as well. Here's some student examples. If you have some time and the sub wants to pause the video and show you these, you can, but I'm going to finish this video here so that you can move on and actually start this project.